I'm Senior Airman Bryan Myhr with the 192nd Wing, and we have with us today First Sergeant Jarrod Best.
Hey, how you doing?
He's going to talk with us today about First Sergeant roles and responsibilities and an opportunity that you may be interested in. So good morning, sir.
Good morning. Let's get to it.
Could you introduce yourself, please, and tell us a little bit more about your background and what do you do here?
Sure. I am the serving right now currently as the 192nd Wing First Sergeant. Very excited to be up there with a great leadership team and Command Chief Airman Bryan as well as Colonel Lobash. We've really kind of formulated our triangle, as they say, of leadership, and I'm very excited to be up there. They're happy to have me up there. We're really trying to make some important changes for the wing, put us in the best direction to have our airmen fly, fight, and win.
Okay. So for anybody who's not familiar with the First Sergeant position, why does the wing and the squadrons, and do they even have flight First Sergeants? What's the purpose of that position?
Sure. First Sergeant, I'm a little bit biased because I have the diamond on, but it's one of those positions that encapsulate leadership, and you are literally the liaison between the enlisted to the commander. The commander and I work side by side, fulfilling all the enlisted kind of idiosyncrasies in terms of morale, welfare, squadron leadership among the senior NCOs, either way down to the airmen, making sure that we take care of the entire organization, because if the organization is lacking in the morale and the welfare, they're not going to be able to meet the mission. So mine is to look at adverse trends, make recommendations for the commander, work with the chief, and really be able to take our leadership to the next level, and that is really taking care of the airmen.
Okay. Are you here for the wing staff specifically, or for the whole wing?
I'm actually here for the whole wing. As I sit, like I said, at the wing, normally during drill weekends, I sit down at the squadron level, but eventually I'll be up at the wing level. Right now I'm here, on orders, and that's really helped out in kind of cultivating that triangle that I was talking about, which is the commander, the chief, and myself, and really being able to, form a strong leadership team.
Okay. I've heard that there's a need or a desire for a search, I should say, for airmen to fill First Sergeant positions around the wing.
Sure.
Is that true? And what would be the requirements and the characteristics that you feel would make a good First Sergeant?
Great question. So yes, currently we are looking for some up-and-comers, as they say. I'm feeling old now, but yeah, some up-and-comers, some tech sergeants that's promotable to master, and some current master sergeants that are really go-getters. They have the ability to go after a task and spearhead different things. So it's very important that they have the attributes of leadership. They want to see their squadron do better. They really take the core values of service before self, because there's some late nights, some early mornings when it comes to being a shirt. Your phone doesn't really stop ringing, but it's all for the betterment of the airmen. And if you care about them, then the First Sergeant has a responsibility that you really, it takes you out of the career field as well. So I'm currently, I'm an ammo troop by trade, but I've been taken out of my career field, and now I'm at the AMXS level, or where I really thrive over there as well. But I can be in intel, I can be in medical. It can really kind of transfer you anywhere outside of your career field, and pull you out, and you are dedicated to that squadron, in terms of not just the commander and the chief, but also to the most important thing, which is your airmen, which I really try to make sure I do a good job of going out to the flight line, reaching out to them, seeing what they need. And the really cool part about it is I build a rapport where they're going to come to me with issues and problems, and we're going to try to fix them.
Wow, great answer. I heard you use the term first shirt. Now, I'm a former Army guy personally, and I never heard of that until I came over to the Air Force, and I admit looking up some of the theories as to where that name came from. Do you have any favorite pet theories about how that name came about?
Well, in First Sergeant Academy, they gave us a couple of theories of how that came about. But to reflect back at the Army, I was stationed at an Army base when I was active duty for 6 years. So I think you guys use the term top as the First Sergeant. A little bit different role. They go for as the more of the operational role, working with some of the same similarities. But it's funny, we say top, we say shirt, but a lot of my in the Army counterparts still call me top anyway. So whatever goes and whatever's works. But still, at the end of the day, it boils down to taking care of people.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Any other issues that you think are pressing?
Well, I think, it's huge that people get this announcement out about our openings for First Sergeant. I really feel that it's a role that, can take you and your leadership to the next level. You're given a barrage of different tasks. You're playing, dad, uncle, best friend, mentor. Then you have to play the enforcer, and then there's so many different roles and so many different hats that you can play. But it really helps you cultivate the dynamics of leadership. I think it's very, very important for us to continue to cultivate our, tech sergeants to be, shirts and, as our master sergeants as well. I think it's huge because what that does is give them the perspective. There's nothing I would love to see more that people understand how much pressure a commander really has. When that door is closed and we're making those decisions about people's careers and people's lives, it's not as easy as just handing out a piece of paper. So my respect level for the O's have just increased, especially for commanders, and being able to have an input and have a very, very good relationship with all the commanders that I've worked for, where they bounce things off of me, and then I give my suggestion. Even though they have the final decision, they weigh heavily on what I say.
Wow, that sounds like it'd be a real broadening experience.
Absolutely.
For anybody who could do it. So I hope people take advantage of that, and I hope you got a lot of good information today. We want to thank the Air Combat Command for letting us use their Reflective Belt studio.
Absolutely.
If you haven't checked out the Reflective Belt, it's on Facebook, anywhere you can get podcasts, and they have people in here talking about all sorts of great things, so you should definitely check it out. And First Sergeant Best, thank you for coming out here, and we appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you around the wing.
All right. All right.